Hello and welcome to Craven Park for this rearranged Northern Ford Premiership game, Hull Kingston Rovers against the Leigh Centurions. This game rearranged due to floodlight failure back in January, which caused a war of words between Hull Kingston Rovers coach Gary Wilkinson and Leigh coach Paul Terzies. Hopefully the hatchet's been dead and buried now and Rovers can bury Leigh tonight. What's your views on tonight's game, Simon?
That's it, been a tough encounter really. I don't know what's been said about this game, whether Leigh are really bringing out a full strength side and whether they really care about it, but knowing that any match between Hull Kingston Rovers and Leigh, there's always a bit of grudge there, certainly from the supporters if nothing else.
Yeah, certainly the two meetings since the abandoned game, Rovers went across to Hilton Park and had an absolutely fantastic victory in the Buddies National Cup. Run out convincing victors that day by 38 points to 18, which certainly made one or two people look at this Rovers side as potential playoff contenders at the end of the season. And of course we went to Leigh again in July, and in a hard-fought game the Centurions came out 29 to 24. Lots of experience in this Leigh side. You don't have to look much further than the number 7 Bobby Goulding. The pacey Neil Taylor is absent for Leigh today. For the Robins, young Adam Sullivan gets a chance in the front row. With a half-back pairing of Martin Wood and Mark Kane, and a decent bench today in John Wilkin, Dean Andrews, Paul Fletcher and Richard Wilson. I think the first 20 minutes of this game could be crucial, Simon. If Rovers can get into an early lead, get Leigh on the back foot, then I really fancy our chances tonight.
Yeah, I think obviously the real danger man today is going to be Bobby Goulding. We don't really know what sort of a force he is in this league yet. He's pulled off a couple of good performances against lesser sides. But listen, I said they've got Svabik, the rest of them, put him on the bench. He had a good game last week. They're expecting big things from him when they eventually bring him in. I know Paul Rowe did a lot of damage against us last time we played him in July, and he's on the bench as well.
Here come all Kingston Rovers. And here come the Leigh Centurions, led out by their captain, Adam Bristow. I think we're set up for a good game tonight, Simon. Under the floodlights, it's a decent sized crowd. Rovers with a lot to play for. Still got to go as high as they can in the table to try and finish above Doncaster. Leigh cemented in second place. All the ingredients are there.
Yeah, it certainly looks like a good game in prospect. I think both sides are really fired up for it now. They're here and ready to go. We're hoping for a good game. It's a bit disappointing the amount of fans that Leigh have brung. They promised big and talked big in the paper, but I can see no more than about, 100?
Yeah, one or two taxis maybe. Hopefully we'll get to see Alistair McLaren getting a run at this Leigh defence, reminiscent of how he did in the Buddies game, because he was absolutely unstoppable that day. Absolutely steamrolled Taylor on the way for one of his tries.
I think what Rovers need to do is try to get these wingers involved a bit more, Rob. I don't know what you think. I mean, sometimes I feel like Alex Godfrey and McLaren just don't get the run that they need to get. A bit of space on the outside. They've got the pace, haven't they?
Yeah, it's a wing pairing of Pinkney and McLaren for the Robins tonight, and young Mark Blanchard getting a chance in the centres. So he'll be looking to have a big game and try and force his way into the first team with the end of season playoffs coming up. It's going to be Rovers to kick off. Captain Chris Childs lining up the kick. And we're underway. It's high, it's gathered by Chris Morley, former St Helens player for the Leigh Centurions. Mark McCulley runs off, doesn't make much ground. Rovers defend holding firm on that occasion. Here come the Leigh Centurions again. Looks like it's big Rob Ball, and Ball's driven back by the two-man Rovers tackle of Adam Sullivan and Matt Schultz. Goulding with the kick. possible 40-20, but it's fell kindly to Bobby Everett. Bobby Gathers runs into a brick wall of Leigh defenders. Referee keeping them back a decent 10 at that first tackle. Here come Rovers now. Dixon switches to Richie Ayres. Richie Ayres takes the ball 10 metres from the halfway line. Chris Charles running in open play. Just shy of the halfway line now. Rovers, they move the ball left. It's the fifth and last for the Robins. Mark Kane drills the ball wide. Fullback Leon Felton stops with his feet, gathers the ball, and that's a great tackle by Fetu Tawe. Man on ball, he absolutely buried the fullback then. Eric Andrews with a crossfield run for the Leigh Centurions, but no ground made, and that's another good tackle by the Robins, and once again Leigh struggling to make ground. Forward pass, shout the crowd. Referee Morrison happy to let the play go on. Here's McLaren now. Sorry, it's Pinkney. Pinkney collects the ball. Leigh set in the air, looking to kick early in the tackle count there, Simon.
Yeah, they're looking to kick deep, aren't they? Old Rovers in their own half. And I think they're going to struggle this half, certainly. There's 20 minutes away, Rovers are steamed up to get out of their own half if we can keep a good kicking game and hope for a few mistakes.
Yeah, it looks as though Coach Wilkinson certainly got his troops charged up for this one. They've come out like a bull at the gate. Good to see. 10 metres inside the Leigh half now. Kick comes in from Martin Wood. It's deep, it's turned the wing around. That winger is former Halifax and Keighley player Oliver Marnes. And that's good tackling again by the Robins, keeping this Leigh side pending. We're 20 metres from the Leigh line now. Leigh trying to force the ball out of the danger zone, but this Rovers defence, they're looking hungry, they're hitting in the tackle. The Leigh players are going down and staying down. Golden again with the kick. This is one easy one for Ali McLaren, and here comes the Driffield Express. He's brought down about 30 metres from his own try line. Kane passes on to Bobby Everett joining the line. Good to see Bobby taking a bit of work away from the forwards there. Dixon to Andy Smith. Andy Smith runs into the tackle of John Hamilton. Ball's with Wood now. Wood, he looks wide. That's a good ball. Charles! Well, it's a good half break from Mark Blanchard there. The ball's with Wood again. He's the orchestrator. He's the man Rovers going to be looking to prize open this Leigh defence. Fifth and last, shouts the referee. The ball's moved to the blind side. It's Wood again. Wood with a crossfield kick. It's gathered there by Eric Andrews. He runs the ball out from behind his own line, and he's absolutely nailed about 7 or 8 metres from the Leigh try line. Oh, that was a big hit there from Chris Charles. One down below, one up top. The Leigh player certainly felt that. Once again, good defence by the Robins. Mark Kane involved there. That possible forward pass there from Golden. Leigh players kicking out in the tackle, didn't like it. It's a kick over, it's gathered by Leigh. There's danger here for the Robins. Mark McCulley, they've got men out wide now of Leigh. Looks as if with Simon Baldwin, the ball's gone loose. Play on, says the referee. Still chances now for Leigh. Oh, there's going to score now, and yeah, that's the first try of the game for Leigh. It was scrappy, it was loose, but they played to the whistle, and unfortunately, on just under 5 minutes of play, Simon Baldwin's gone in for the Leigh Centurions.
Yeah, it was a good try in the end, that wasn't it, Rob? It was a kick over the top, just placed right, left Dixon in all sorts of trouble, bounced nicely for him, carried it through, passed through, there was a last minute desperate attempt at an interception, just didn't succeed, and they just had the numbers in the end, didn't they? Rovers just worked back.
Yeah, just the start Rovers was looking to avoid, but They've posted, we've just got to get on with it. We've got to hit back as soon as we possibly can. Looks as though it's Bobby Goulding with the conversion attempt for the Leigh Centurions. And that's sailed between the posts to give Leigh an early 6 points lead.
Centurions, number 7, Bobby Goulding.
It's going to be the Rovers skipper Chris Charles to restart the game now. Rovers with that early body blow of a 5th-minute try.
I'll tell you what we're going to miss today, Robin. That's good old Dave Luckwell to come on. I mean, he's been our man of the season, hasn't he, up here in the commentary box, for whatever we know. But him missing for the rest of the season is a real body blow to Rovers. Anyway, Rovers kick off for Chris Charles.
Play restarts. The Rovers reception committee meeting the Leigh player on his own 20-metre line. Once again, that's a decent half break from Chris Morley. I can remember seeing him in 1 or 2 Challenge Cup finals for Saints in the late 90s. I think he's the brother of the better Morley, isn't he? Adrian. Oh, and that was a great hit from Fetu. He's really sticking the shoulder in today. It's Fetu Taiwa. Here come Leigh again with Adam Bristow. It's the 5th and last. Leigh just inside the Rovers half. It looks as though it's gone a dummy there and a deep kick once again. But too much weight on that one from the Leigh Centurions, and Rovers will restart the game with a 20-metre restart.
I'll tell you what, since in the week, anyway, it's a restart there with Bobby Everett coming in, making a good 10 yards. A good tackle from the Leigh players. Richie Hayes coming up for another run. Rovers looking to get it wide with Wood taking on, but well tackled there from 2 Leigh players.
Yeah, certainly Leigh look for it as much as Rovers do in the defensive side of things. Mark McCulley there for the Leigh Centurions. Fetu Taiwa now, he passes on to Kane. Kane, he kicks the ball down to deep open space. It's bounced awkwardly. Play on, says the referee. And the Leigh fullback there, he has to gather the ball, but it doesn't make any ground. Big hit from Richie Hayes there. Rovers, they'll need to just put a spell of pressure now on the Leigh Centurions. Just say, OK, you've opened the scoring, but where are you? We're not going to lie down. And with the decent crowd following we've got today, it looks a hell of a good crowd for a night match, Simon. Hopefully we'll be able to get back in this game as soon as possible, but not with slack defence like that. There was a missed tackle there. Leigh very dangerous when they get the ball in open play. Goulding, it kicks on the 5th and last. Once again, that looks as though it's going to go deep. Indeed it does. It makes you wonder if Tays is actually telling them to play the game in Rovers half, Simon, because they just seem to be kicking at every opportunity and deep.
I mean, I don't think it's a bad tactic sometimes, Rob Deal. I mean, if you can't get a good kick in, just get a kick that goes dead in your own dead ball line, and the other side have to restart from the 25. Anyway, Rovers take it in again. Adam Sullivan taking it up. He's had a good match last week. And Richie Hayes taking it in yet again for another run, making a good 5, 10, 15 yards. Dixon out to Kane, out to Martin Wood, is a playmaker, a great little ball out to Matt Schultz, but just wrapped up.
Here come the Robins again then. It's big Adam Sullivan, this big 19-year-old, made a good impression in his early stages with the Robins. It's the 5th and last, the ball's with Wood. That one's got snow on it and there's a good chase from the Robins. Oh, but comfortably gathered there by Eric Andrews. Credit where credit's due. He never took his eye off the ball and he gathered the ball in well. Leon Felton, the fullback, takes the ball about 19 metres from his own try line. Rovers need to get big, they need to get in this Leigh's faces and really put some big hits in on them. That looked a forward pass to me, Simon.
Yeah, he did, didn't it? I think the ref missed that one. Too busy looking at the line.
And once again, it's this tactic of the early kick. And that's good strength shown there by Nick Pinkney. Was holding him down at the play of the ball then. Martin Wood, inside pass, but the Leigh defence read that one. It's Simon Baldwin, man with the red and white scrum cap on. Certainly a big physical pack of forwards, this Leigh Centurion side. I think Rovers need to get the ball out wide, stretch them a bit. That's the man we need to get on the ball, is this Martin Wood, putting people through gaps. Here's Adam Sullivan, that's a great run. He's offloaded to Charles. Charles got the ball out. It's Matty Schultz running wide. It's the fifth and last, it's the first real attack of the game for the Robins. The ball's gone up. There's pressure on the Leigh defence. Put him in touch, Rovers. Oh, that's good strength actually shown there by the Leigh winger, Eric Andrews. But that's good strength shown by Fetu Tower also. And he's forced the knock on. Tremendous defence.
I'll tell you what, this Fetu Tower is on fire, isn't it? In the week that he's announced his retirement, you've got to say what a fantastic servant he's been for Rovers. But ever since he's been announced his retirement, he's absolutely been fired up, hasn't he? Last week, on Sunday he was, today he is.
That's got the East Stand roaring, and that's what we want. Let's see Rovers get over this try line now. We've had 12 minutes on the clock. The ball's fed out from the blind side. Fortunately, crossed wires between Charles and Kane, but we've got 5 tackles and we're in the danger zone. Big Richie Ayres. Big drive from Richie Ayres. Adam Bristow in there with a tackle. Martin Wood, that's where we want him. There's a chance now on. The idea was there, but unfortunately the execution let us down. There was a chance for Pinkney, had he been able just to gather that ball, I think he would have gone in the corner.
That's what we're looking for, isn't it? Loads of runners, a few men for him to dummy to and pop a ball out to using the wings. That's what I've been saying all season, isn't it, Rob?
Yeah, we certainly opened them up there, and had the ball gone to Pinkney, it'd have been in untouched. As it is, Leigh, head and ball, they're bringing the ball away now. Goulding trying to orchestrate this Leigh attack. They bring it to the blind side. That's good tackle. Andy Smith, best tackler at the club, I've always said it, and that's why. Referees keeping the sides apart, and once again it's this early kick, and that's an attempted 40-20 from Goulding. Good positional play from Bobby Everett, but I'd hang on to that one, Bobby. Well played, son. It would have been a bit dangerous to give that one out to Ali. Here is Ali now. Takes the ball, good 3-4 metres forward. Leigh holding down at the play of the ball then, Simon.
I think it was the case. That was a big tough tackle from Leigh. I think Leigh are really showing some ferocity in this tackling, as are Rovers. But Rovers are starting to see the odd chink in the defence and trying to get through a bit.
Yeah, I want to see Kane and Wood running at this Leigh defence. Look at them stacked up out wide. That's a great ball. Good defence by Leigh though. There's a bit of argy-bargy there between the players, but I think referee Morrison's going to signal a Leigh head and feed here. One or two of the Rovers players not happy. Well, of course, Bobby Goulding's got one or two things to say, which isn't a surprise. But it's going to be a scrum down 10 metres inside this Leigh Centurions half. Goulding. He runs off and he kicks early, and there's a chase on now. And of all people, it's Andy Smith who runs back and covers. Well, that's great play from a forward.
Well, it showed lightning pace there, didn't he? It was as quick as Pinkney, wasn't he? Anyway, great break here. Coming on. Alan McLaren just looking to make a break. Right straight down the middle. Pass to the ball out. Richie Ayres taking him on. And pass out to Wood. Come on.
Yeah, it's Rovers looking to spread this ball, to stretch this Leigh defence. It's a good 10-metre charge there. Here come the Rovers now. We've got men stacked up again. That's Kane. Adam Sullivan's running very hard and strong tonight. I'm impressed with his opening 15 minutes from Sullivan. Here's Wood again. Wood, he kicks deep. Maybe a bit too much meat on that one. And indeed there is. It sailed straight out of play, unfortunately for the Robins. But both sides are starting to get a bit fired up, Simon. I can see this developing into a good game of rugby league.
Well, it already is, isn't it, Rob? Some great tackling going on and really tough to break through this. Leigh have certainly got a bit of inventiveness in the form of Bobby Golden and a couple of other players. But they certainly found it tough to break for Rovers' defence. And they've got a good outside, but well tackled.
Yeah, Leigh looking dangerous. Golden with a long ball out there. Running across the Rovers' defence. And that's in touch. The Leigh winger there, Eric Andrews. He went for the gap that was virtually non-existent. The Rovers' defence was quickly across and the danger's snuffed out. But Leigh certainly looked dangerous with ball in hand. They seem to run wide arcs. They look to stretch the Rovers' defence and then just cut in. And I think they believe that they've got the advantage in pace, and they feel that if a break does come, that no one will catch them. Here's Wood now. Wood onto Blanchard. Blanchard. The Leigh defence looks to be getting up just a little bit too quick for my liking, Simon. I think the referee needs to just pull them up for offside.
Yeah, well, make this moment to apologise if we're making any mistakes in our commentary, but with Rovers' famous lights, it's hard to spot the players fully at times, isn't it?
Unfortunately for the Robins, big Adam Sullivan's knocked on. So Leigh are going to have a scrum down in a... Well, it's dangerous because it's in the Rovers' half of the field, and let's see what happens from this. Golden, he feeds Duffy. Duffy, he brings the full-back Fulton into play. McCulley, he runs off, does Mark McCulley. Feto Taiwo once again doing sterling defensive work. John Hamilton, he comes to the blind side, inside to Chris Morley. Chris Morley's dropped the ball. That'll do for the Robins. Dicko snatches it and Dicko runs off. The East Stand's not happy with this 10 metres. Well, there we go. We only mentioned it about a minute ago, and Leigh pulled up for offside. Referee obviously catching him out on this occasion. And there's a chance of an attack now for the Robins. Martin Wood. Ball to Feto. Feto. He's wrapped up by the Leigh winger Eric Andrews. We're 20 metres from the Centurions line with Chris Charles. Chris Charles to Richie Hayes. Richie Hayes makes a good 8 metres. Now then, Dicko. Well, I think they took the wrong option there. I think they need to get the ball across field into the hands of Wood and Kane. They're the ones with the craft. Charles, and here is Wood. Kick comes in, there's chances now. Ollie Mans gets the ball, but he's wrapped up behind his own line. Well, that's the sort of options that Martin Wood gives you, mate.
He just gives you that second option, doesn't he? He's got some great kicking game. Every kick he puts in seems to put the other side in a bit of trouble. All right, they didn't get a try then, but they get the ball back. 6 more tackles, just as good.
Yeah, I'll add to Simon's apology. It's very difficult to pick out the numbers of the Leigh players tonight on their white shirts, but we'll do the best we can. We're 25 metres from the Centurions line. Here comes Adam Sullivan again. He's not taking no backward steps tonight in Sullivan. He takes a tackle of Simon Baldwin. Here's Kane now. Kane to Charles. Charles has got runners, and there's one of them, and there's chances now. Oh, he just lost his foot in. I think it was Blanchard. No, it was Schultz. Chris Charles is still going. He's driving for the line. Held up by 3 Leigh players. Matt Schultz to Kane. Oh, and unfortunately, knock on signals Morrison. Matt Schultz is not happy with that decision, but the decision's been made and we're just going to have to live with it.
I'll tell you what, Matt Schultz loves playing outside Martin Wood, doesn't he? Came on the ball like a bullet then, didn't he? Very unlucky to get knocked off. It was clean through for a try.
Yeah, just looking across into the stands, and coach Gary Wilkinson looks a bit frustrated at the minute because on the balance of play we shouldn't really be behind on the scoreboard. I'd say the ball's been in the Leigh half more than the Rovers half, and let's hopefully we can turn round this 6 points.
It's maybe a bit of the problem we've had all season. We are hampered by this narrow pitch, but we maybe lack that odd touch of player who can really break a tackle, really get through. Often we missed the field because of injuries. Anyway, Golden going for yet another 40-20. Looks to be miles off. It's kicking deep. It's not gone dead, so it ends up to be a good kick. But a kick's only as good as its chasers, and their chasers weren't very good, but they've still kept Rovers down in their own 10. Alan McLaren with the ball now, looking to make yards, makes 10-15 yards. This is the boy they're really scared of. He's the one who's done damage to Leigh before. Richie is looking to make yet another run. This boy just runs all night. Ball gone back. It's given knock on. Clearly looks to be pulled out in the tackle. The two Leigh players are playing innocent, but obviously pulled out in the tackle, but the ref fell for it.
Yeah, I think this Simon Baldwin is having a good game for Leigh with his defensive qualities, and he scored the opening try. One of the Rovers players has said something they shouldn't, so the scrums are now turned into a penalty for Leigh, and not surprisingly they're going to go and try and add on the 2. But Simon Baldwin, he used all his guile there. There was certainly an hand in, we could see it from here, but he's conned the 3 people that matter, and that's the officials.
It seems to be our nemesis, doesn't it, this Simon Baldwin character? He always has a good match against us, and once again he's doing the same. So it's Martin Wood really seems to be making a difference here at Rovers, though. He's certainly adding a lot of invention to the play. Maybe it's only early days, and once he gets a few more matches under his belt, hopefully with the playoffs coming up, we can do all right.
Just short of 23 minutes on the clock, and Bobby Goulding with a chance to add on an extra 2 points for Leigh. Is about 31 metres out central. No problem for Bobby Goulding. It's the Robins 0, the Leigh Centurions 8. There's no activity as yet on the Rovers bench, Simon. Does that surprise you at all? I know Fletcher took a dead leg on Sunday. Maybe shouldn't even be on the bench, but we're a bit shy of numbers at this late stage of the season.
Well, I think there's a couple of players on the pitch who maybe nursing some injuries.
Yeah, it was a big hit by Andy Smith on the Leigh centre there. Mark McCulley certainly nearly dug an hole in the Craven Park pitch when they drilled him into the ground there. I think it's important for Rovers to get the next score, whether it's a penalty, hopefully a try, but we just can't let Leigh get more than 10 in front, because they could just slip away from us. And it's a knock on. Oh, look at Bobby Goulding. Why don't you shut your face, Goulding?
He's an uncompromising character in this, Bobby Goulding. Can't get on at any club that he's played at. Always looks to cause trouble, and it doesn't look to be any different here. Anyway.
Yeah, it's a scrum down. I'll do my best to try not to swear when Goulding's involved. Play goes on now. Rovers just inside the Leigh half. We need a big set of 6 here. We need to get our forwards charging at this Leigh defence. Then we need to get the ball into the hands of Wood and Kane, and hopefully get a try. Sullivan. Once again, decent work rate from Sullivan. Dicko's at the acting half. On to Kane. Kane has runners. One of them's Charles. And that was high. Come on, referee. That was high. Bradbury. Andy Smith. We're about 15 metres from the Leigh Centurions line. Referee signalling 5th and last. I think it's going to go to Wood, and I can see it going aerial. Well, the Leigh defence put a bit of pressure on him, but there's a chance now. We're 2 on 1. He always cut back inside. There's still a chance. Leigh full-back, Felton had to take the ball under pressure from Blanchard. Ollie Mans brings the ball away for Leigh Centurions, about 11 metres from his own try line. That's good defence there. Dixon and Hayes. Dicko never takes a step down to anyone, regardless of his size. Well, that was well taken by Leigh, and that was an important tackle there from Mark Kane. Looks to be John Duffy releasing the ball there, and that's once again good defence by Rovers out wide. And I don't think Andy Smith's missed a tackle all match. Leigh, unsurprisingly, they've gone for the deep kick again, and they've got a good four-man chase there. Pinckney's under pressure here. Oh, but he's done brilliantly. Went round the first man as though he wasn't even there. Martin Wood's at the acting half. He needs a big forward charging on, but the only person he finds is Bobby Everett, one of the two of the big Rovers forwards, perhaps just starting to blow a little bit. It's been fast and furious. Maybe chance for Big Fletch and Willow to get on. Just give Hayes and Sullivan, who've got through a lot of work, a bit of a breather. Give Leigh forward something else to think about as well. Hayes Wood, I think he was looking for a runner on the right of him there, but Rovers are a bit flat on attack there. It's the fifth and last, and we're only just over the halfway line. Charles kicks deep, and Felton, Leigh fullback's happy just to let that one go into play. Well, we've got 27 minutes on the clock, Simon. How do you think this one's heading?
Well, I think Rovers really need to get some points on the board. I mean, worryingly with Paul Rowley and Svabic sat on the bench, and Dale Cardoza. You've got three star players then, and the star NFP players. And once they do decide to use them, things could really happen for Leigh. So we've really got to start getting some points on the board and thinking about somehow coming back.
Yeah, I think we just need a spark now, just to give Leigh something to think about. We've only really looked like scoring on one occasion, and the man you've just mentioned, Dale Cardoza, is coming on, Simon, and he certainly looks as though he could be a danger man. He's gone into the off-half position. I think he's played Super League, Cardoza, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, he's played for Huddersfield, Warrington, Chorley, Doncaster. Here's a short break from a Leigh player, taking it up. They're looking to play the ball quickly, but a bad mistake there from Rob Ball. What was it? Well, not Rob Ball, no, it was our old friend David Bradbury who dropped that ball.
Yeah, it was good up and in your face defence from Rovers, which caused it. Here comes big Paul Fletcher. You heard the cry from the crowd. Psycho's on. He's replaced Matt Schultz. Kane now to Wood. Wood has Fetu Tower charging up on his left-hand side. He has to take the tackle from John Duffy. Martin Wood again. Richie Hayes turns back into trouble, unfortunately for Richie, but we're only about 27 metres from the Leigh line. It's with Kane to Charles. Charles has sold the dummy. Two Leigh men went crashing into one another. I don't think Charles needed to pass that, and the referee signalled a forward pass, I think, which absolutely stuns me.
Well, it was a pass back, wasn't it? Pass back, bounced on the floor, and the Rovers bloke picked up. I don't see any problem with that, but obviously the referee does. It's good to see Psycho on the pitch, though. I think that's what we've needed. Somebody who can make a break, get out wide. I know this right-hand wing for Leigh's a bit dodgy, as we saw in the previous matches.
And another man, you've mentioned Simon, Paul Rowley, former Halifax Super League player. He's joined the fray now. So Leigh bringing in one or two of these big guns. Of course, Leigh can not go any higher or lower than second place, but you like to carry form through into the playoffs. No team likes to be defeated. Oh, that was a great hit. Chris Charles, man and ball, get down, boy. Rowley, he passes on to Goulding. Forward shouts the crowd, there's a knock on by Cardoza, I think it was. And Blanchard was quickly in, should have been penalised. Here comes Fletcher, absolutely batters the first one. He's absolutely laid out one of the lead players. That's it, that's what we needed, that's the fire. And that's Cyclone and Rovers now. We're about 25 metres from the lead line.
You see the outside lift, don't you, when Psycho makes a run in?
Dixon, onto Richie Hayes. I'd like to see someone on his shoulder. It's a one-man drive. We're in the danger zone now. We're about 20 metres out. Martin Wood, inside board, there's a good chance now. Oh, that should be a penalty try. Penalty try, referee. It'd have been in under the posts. It was held back, it was a definite try. And we've not got a penalty try there. No, I don't know exactly what Fettel's saying.
It was absolutely bloody blatant, wasn't it? I mean, the bloke was tackled before he got the ball. The posts were clear. He had a man outside him. It's a penalty try.
Not only a penalty try, the lead player should be sin binned because it was a professional foul. And that is an absolutely scandalous decision by the referee. Absolute rubbish.
Well, I'm looking down at George Fairbairn and Gary Wilkinson are both shaking their head. The only one who don't believe it is the league commentator up here. Anyway, Rovers going for the 2 points. They really need these points on the board, and at least we'll get 2. But now we've got Psycho on the field, it's a totally different game, isn't it?
It's going to be an easy 2 for the Robins, but that's no consolation because Leigh should be pegged back to only 2 behind on the scoreboard, and they should be down to 12 men. Anyhow, it's been and gone with 32 minutes on the clock. The crowd in the East Stand are not happy at all.
What a fantastic break by Martin Wood though, wasn't it? And great superb backing up and very unlucky not to get the ball out.
And I think the first break that Psycho made, I think it was Bobby Goulding who he absolutely trampled into the ground. Took Goulding about 20 seconds to know where he was. Well, I suppose it's no consolation, but the gap's been narrowed to 6 points and we're underway now. And as I agree with you, Si, Martin Wood, class. We really look up for it now. Let's have a big finish to this half. Get Coach Wilkinson, get him in, get him stoked up again for the second half. Leigh are there for the taking. Dixon to Kane, he's got no one in support, which is a bit not too good to see. He needs someone on his shoulder. And once again, interference from Leigh. And that's clever play from Kane. Give it! There's a chance now. It was Pinkney, but he has to take the tackle. But Rovers have certainly upped the game since the introduction of Paul Fletcher. Richie Hayes now drives in there. Simon Baldwin executes the tackle. About 22 metres out, it's with this man Wood. Inside ball to Charles. Charles has got runners. One of them's Fletcher. Fletcher takes us 10 metres from the Leigh line. It's with Wood again. Oh, Fettel did well to hang on to that one, did Fettel. It was a risky ball, but we're still in possession. Leigh are penned back on their own line. It's with Martin Wood. Loose ball. Richie Hayes collects. He just drives in. Does the sensible thing. There's Richie. Still going. It's fifth and last. Dixon's looking to Wood. I think Wood's going to use the kick here. Indeed he does. It's rebounded. And that should be play on. It should be knock on now. Oh, referee! Referee, there was a knock on. There's a Leigh player down in backfield. As it is, play goes on. It's Eric Andrews. It's fast and furious. It's a great game of rugby league. And that's a knock on. And that is justice for the one the referee should have given one tackle ago.
What's he playing at here, Rob? What's he playing at? I mean, there was at least one knock on back there. Everybody could see it. Even the league commentator could see it. He ain't admitting it.
He's just grinning, but he knows. Kane feeds the scrum. Oh, it's a bad ball from Kane. We need to get on that one. Pinkney gets the ball. Has to take the tackle there. Loose play from Rovers. Chris Morley was in there for Leigh. Martin Wood. Well, I think he was playing a different game to his teammates there. He should have had someone on his shoulder. He should have had someone charging on, but Rovers was asleep. Play goes on now. Dixon switches. We're in the danger zone. It's with Kane. Kane to Charles. Charles delayed pass to Bobby, and that was high. It was an high tackle, spotted by the referee. David Bradbury's pleading innocence. Dale Cardoza, he's having too much to say. He ought to shut his gob. It's a penalty to the Rovers, and it should be another 2 points here for the Robins.
I'll tell you what, Rob. I don't know about you, but I'll pin me flag to the mast here. I think with this side, with these players, Gary Lucas is doing a good job. What do you think?
Yeah, I'm behind Wilco. I think Leigh are a reflection of the coach. They've got too much to say for themselves. Going to be a substitution for the Robins. Rich Wilson's on. I think it's Adam Sullivan, the man to make way. And Rovers have reduced the errors. 36 minutes on the clock. It's the Robins 4. The Leigh Centurions 8. Dale Cardoza looks to have gone off for Leigh.
Number 13, Chris Charles, sponsored by Southcourt Sling Carpets.
I'll tell you what, Rob, they played the big guns now, haven't they? And we're still dealing with them, so I think we've got it now. I think we can take them. Bobby Golden's not doing a great deal. He's got a good kicking game, but that's about it. They've got a good chase. But if Rovers can keep building it up, running these big forwards wide, I think we're going to start finding some gaps.
Yeah, the good thing for me, Simon, from up here is that Rovers look as though they want to win this game. And that's all you ask for as a fan when you come and support your team, because that's what we are, we're fans. We just want to see them giving it all for the share, and they're doing it.
That's it, Rob. We make no apologies for at times maybe being a little bit biased or anything as commentators. Go on! Because that's what we are, we're fans, aren't we?
We certainly are. Play goes on now just over the halfway line. It was an inside ball. Oh, and there was an ankle tap. There was a chance there. I think it was Blanchard who showed a good set of pace there. Martin Wood kicks under pressure. Gathered in open play by the Centurions. Here's Leon Felton. Obviously a bit part player at Leigh because I can't see him replacing Turley. Approaching half-time now. Leigh take the ball just up to the halfway line. Rovers' defence is standing firm apart from that early try. It's been fairly solid. Drilled ball by Goulding to Pinkney. Pinkney still going. That's tremendous strength. Nick Pinkney. Good play from Nick Pinkney. Rovers now about 8 metres inside the Leigh Centurions half. Dicko scoots it off. Inside ball to Charles. Charles has got a big appetite for work today. It's with Kane now. Kane signals. He looked for support. He had Wood on his shoulder, but unfortunately hung on to the ball. Martin Wood now onto Richie Hayes. Richie Hayes. So one-man drive. Richie Hayes. We're about 8 metres from the Leigh Centurions line, and what a time to score this would be. Dixon to Wood. Wood. The ball's gone down to ground. It's gone loose. Oh, no. Well, that should be back to 6, referee, and it is. Big Paul Fletcher gathered. Bobby Everett now. Eyes up the Leigh defence. He's still going, is Bobby. Great strength from Bobby Everett. Smallest man on the pitch. Dixon now. Inside ball, there's a chance now. I think it's Richard Wilson. He must only be a metre short. The ball. It's Dixon, he's going for the line. 4 men Leigh holding him up. It's desperation defence from Leigh. Chris Charles manoeuvring at that in half now. Rovers, you've got to get over this line. We're with Wood. There's chances now. Still going is Wood. Oh, the ball's gone loose. And unfortunately, just run out of options there, did Martin Wood. He tried to turn the ball back inside as the tackles came in. He had to try and release the ball, and unfortunately it went to ground. But this Leigh side certainly know they've been in a battle, and they will not want Rovers in the playoffs, no matter what happens. Bit of gamesmanship once again. Well, forget all I said, it must have been a Leigh player who knocked on, because the scrum's gone to Rovers. But with Wood now, there's a chance now! Emery! And it's Bobby Everett from the scrum down! The East End's gone absolutely balmy! Set move, scrum down from a Leigh knock-on. The ball came out to Martin Wood. He delayed the pass. Bobby Everett came steaming in like an express train, and there was no stopping the young man. And right on half-time, we're in stoppage time of the first half. Bobby Everett's gone over for the first Rovers try of the game. The noise from the East End is absolutely deafening, but Rovers are going to go into the half-time break and they're going to be in front, and that's just what they deserve on the balance of play. Chris Charles now skipper, having a fantastic game tonight. Bang in front of the post, should be 2, should be Rovers 10, Leigh 8. No problem, Chris Charles. The Reds are in front. And there goes the half-time hooter. And what a tremendous game of rugby league. And I'm talking about both sides there. It's been a credit to the Northern Ford Premiership, and if we can have more of that in the second half, then the spectators will be glad that the first game was abandoned, because this one is an absolute cracker. Rovers 10, Leigh 8.
Okay, just like to introduce you to, once again, the Shooting Stars. And a big thank you to the Shooting Stars.
Here we are, we're back again. We set up a bit earlier that time, so we're not quite so tired as we usually are we?
Yeah, I needed to wet my throat after that excellent Bobby Everett try. Here come the Robins out for the second half. There certainly looks as though there's a spring in the step. It's going to be a big 40 minutes of rugby league this for Rovers. I know certainly Doncaster will be looking at this match and probably expecting the Rovers to come unstuck here tonight, but it'll be a body blow for Donny ahead of Sunday's game if Rovers can take the 2 points tonight.
Well, I mean, this is it. I mean, Leigh maybe don't need the 2 points, but what they do need is some match practice coming up to their big game, and what's that? Huddersfield. And he certainly needs to learn to score a few points. And although they've got a few players missing, they've also got some of the major inclusions in now. So we'll see how Rovers do in the second half. Anyways, once again, the ever reliable Richie is taking it up as he has done all season. Passing on to Richard Wilson, who takes it up, even though I know he's had a bit of a problem with his leg this week with a bit of water on the knee. Passing out, another good drive from Rovers player, nearly breaks the tackle, just pulled down.
Yeah, Rovers starting as they finish the second half, and that's advancing forward. I think they'll look for Kane and Wood on the next tackle now. The forwards have done the spade work, they've took the ball out of our half. Here is the man himself. Well, he's done it. Blanchard, I think, took the right option there, because there was a chance that Pinkney would have got took into touch by Ollie Marnes, but it was a gamble that didn't pay off on that occasion. Good tackle from Blanchard there. Big Paul Fletcher in at the tackle there. John Duffy, he passes on, but once again it's a swarming defence from Rovers. Rowley was at the acting half-back. Leigh trying to get these big forwards charging in, but as things are, Rovers are meeting the challenge head on. Here he is, Motormouth Goulding. On to Duffy. Once again, it's good defence. Paul Anderson going nowhere for the Leigh Centurions. Adam Bristow to Goulding. They're all offside far on the right-hand side of the field. Come on, referee. Oh, well, it was a good take in the end from Bobby. There was a danger that they was going to bump into each other there, Kane and Bobby Everett, but all's well that ends well. Rovers get the chance to bring the ball away now. They're about 15 metres from their own try line. Big Richie Hayes, once again, facing up to these big Leigh forwards, Bradbury included. Rich Wilson, that was a good tackle there from Leigh. Rob Ball was in there, Goulding and Anderson. Here's Fletcher now. It's the fifth and last. We've not got out of our own half this time. It's going to be deep kick from Wood this time. Must have been touched the Rovers player in flight. The referee signal play on, and Leon Felton's made a break, and this guy looks as though he's got some speed, and that's a great tackle. But it was a good break from Leon Felton, and Rovers are on the back foot now. Martin Wood and Rich Wilson's in danger of giving a penalty away there. Referee shouted at him to get up. Leigh looking dangerous now. He goes on right to Duffy. Duffy's running, he switches inside to Felton again. He's got electrifying pace as that full back. We can't afford him to get another break like he did a minute ago. Bobby Goulding runs across the face, gives it to Simon Baldwin. Baldwin, he passes on to Anderson. Anderson flips the ball back to Goulding, and there's danger now for the Robins, and that's a clever kick from Goulding. Well, I think it's a try. It looks as though Alistair McLaren's knocked the ball on, and the referee's played the advantage, and Leigh have dropped on the ball, and that's a try to the Leigh Centurions, and that's an exact replica of the first half. Leigh scoring a try within the first 5 minutes of the start, and that's disaster for the Robins.
Yeah, I've certainly come out fired up on the Rob. It's another bit of a fortuitous try again, wasn't it? I mean, you'd nearly 99 times out of 100 for the ex-rugby union winger to keep the ball safe. You know, maybe should have gone just to kick it into touch, I think.
And in fact, it was Goulding following up his own kick who's dropped on the ball. So 43 minutes gone. Leigh have regained the lead. It's the Robins 10, the Centurions 12. It's going to be a difficult touchline conversion for Bobby Goulding, but well, he's had a long career in rugby league, and I've seen him kick these. But yeah, Ali should have had that one. Let's hope he can put the mistake behind him and repay in kind by going over the Leigh try line. The Rovers East stand giving Goulding a bit of bed over there. And he's absolutely bombed it to the delight of the Rovers faithful. So it's just a 2-point lead for Leigh. I think Coach Wilkinson will be disappointed. He'll probably said, don't make the same mistake as what you did in the first half, and that is concede an early try. And that's exactly what they did.
it's Bobby Goulding. He's a player everybody loves to wait into. I bet even his own fans take the piss out of him. But he does put certainly a few good kicks in the game, and that was one of them.
Players restarted now. Well, that's a big hit from Rovers at defence there. That's what they've got to do. That's what they did first half when they conceded that try. They got in Leigh's faces and said, right, if you want it, you're going to have to take it from us. Martin Wood just completes the tackle there. Apologies once again. It's difficult to pick out the Leigh players in this light. I know that for a fact that Simon Baldwin is a big, rugged attacking there. Second row forward is Baldwin. Goulding onto Duffy. Duffy jinks. Duffy comes inside. Three-man Rovers defence. He had Dicko wrapped around his ankles. Ball goes back. It's going to be a kick from Goulding, is it? Oh, and there was a player took out there for Rovers. I think it was Mike Dixon. Play goes on with Alistair McLaren, and McLaren's tackled by Mark McCulley of Leigh. Fetso, after a promising start, got a bit quiet, but we can never write off a player of Fetso's talent. Bobby Everett takes the ball in. Dixon's acting half. Rich Wilson, he just hesitated slightly. He needs to be charging in at full flow, as does him and Paul Fletcher. Chris Charles now did well to take that ball. It had just gone slightly behind him. Martin Woods at the acting half-back, orchestrating play. Richie Hayes, big drive from Richie Hayes. Three-man Leigh tackle. Bristow was in there for Leigh. Matt Kane, that's a great kick. And there's a good chase on from the Robins. And Felton took it, and Felton was absolutely mullered by Andy Smith. And Andy Smith's playing like a man possessed. And that's great play from the Warhorse, Paul Fletcher. I think Charlie was lucky not to be penalised for a flop there, but play goes on, and Rovers are really getting in Leigh's faces in the defensive stint. Leigh struggling to make ground with his set of six. It's the fifth and last. They're only about 26 metres from their own try line. It's going to have to be a kick on this occasion. Well, they should have nailed Duffy then. He managed to get the kick away. It's spinning, and Bobby Everett his eyes never left the ball there. Copybook play from Bobby, forced to take a two-man Leigh tackle. About 15 metres inside his own half. Ali McLaren now looking to make up for that error which conceded the second try to Leigh. Baldwin was in at the tackle. Dixon to Hayes. Richie Hayes is his energy levels are just absolutely superb.
He's having a really fiery game today, and he's really getting stuck in, looking to make a break, looking to get the ball. Great ball by Wood. Straight out, and it's passed now, and here it goes.
There's a chance for Pinkney. Pinkney's got Bobby Everett. Bobby Everett, and that's a good cover tackle from Leigh. Credit where credit's due. It didn't go out of play. Well, I think the touch judge has done Rovers badly there. Signalled a knock-on. Rovers was in a very, very, very dangerous attacking position, and the touch judge tipped the referee off about something or other. And unfortunately, it's going to be a scrum down, head and feet to Leigh, only 10 metres from their own try line. The ball's fed in by Goulding. It's being shepherded by the loose forward. It's actually Baldwin who's emerged from the back of the scrum there. Here come Leigh again, but that's a good three-man tackle by the Robins. Dixon, Fletcher and Hayes. That's Rowley. He passed on to Ian Hodson, and that's another great tackle, and it's Fetto again. Fetto and Andy Smith are absolutely... Oh, there's danger now. There's danger now for the Robins. Oh, but Leigh have bombed it. It was a break by Anderson. He flung the ball inside. It went to ground and Rovers regathered, and that's a sloppy play from Leigh, but great news for Rovers. Chances now. Kane's running across the field, brings in Blanchard. That was a big hit there from Bobby Goulding. He got the shoulder in on Blanchard, knocked him off balance. Richard Wilson. Rovers about 8 metres inside the Leigh Centurions half of the field. It's with the danger man, Wood. Wood brings in Fletcher. Fletcher, oh, he tried to release the ball, but it went forward, and that's a knock-on from Leigh, so I think the referee will go to the original knock-on stroke forward pass from Fletcher. But Rovers, they've not let the try affect them, Simon.
No, they've had a good period of play there, really put some pressure on. But come up with a mistake. I think Fletcher's always looking to get the ball out. He looks to make the half break and then slip the ball to on-running players. He draws so many players, and that time it just slipped out of his hands.
Once again, it's Goulding to Duffy. Good defence there from Wood and Everett, but Duffy managed to slip the ball out. There's a Leigh player perilously close to the line there. The East stand shouted that he'd gone in touch, and the touch judge, who was a yard away, said no. Well, I've seen some things in my time, but that takes the biscuit. Rowley's at the acting half. He certainly makes Leigh look a bit more dangerous round the play. The ball does Rowley. Very experienced, very quick. That's Adam Bristow. 10 metres inside the Robins half. Leigh looking to pile the pressure on. It's with the big prop forward, David Bradbury. It's the fifth and last. Rovers need to repel this tackle. They need to watch the kick again. Goulding, well, he's gone high and deep. There's a big chase on. Bobby's sucked the ball, he's dropped it, and once again Leigh have been given a gift. I think the referee's going to have to speak to the touch judge for this one. I'm not too hopeful. I think it was a knock-on, but hopefully the touch judge will do us a favour. Is he going to say that? Well, I'm not too sure what he's going to say. Hopefully the try will be disallowed. I think he's going to give a Leigh double knock-on. Well, he's given Bobby Everett knock-on, but he's also given a Leigh knock-on as he grounded the ball. So, brief respite for the Robins. Leigh will be looking to get this scrum down quick, Simon, and keep the pressure on.
Yeah, it was a bit of luck there for Rovers, wasn't it? I thought Bobby had it safe, didn't you? But the pressure on him was intense. Great kick from Bobby Goulding. Anyway, passing out now, and a good behind the ball, but well wrapped up by Rovers. Still slipping the ball out. This is the difference this half with Leigh. They're slipping the ball out, looking to make the ball available all the time.
Yeah, Rovers are under the cosh here. There's space appearing out wide. That's Goulding, but that's a tremendous tackle. I think it was Big Fletch, Psycho, it certainly was. But Rovers having to withstand an onslaught from Leigh in these last few minutes. Ollie Mans took a drive in. Looks as though there's a planned move coming on from Leigh here. That's a shepherd if ever I've seen one. But they've managed to get the ball out wide. Duffy, well, if he'd have give then, I think he'll have scored, but he hung on. And Rovers are absolutely... Oh, that's got to be a penalty, ref! He threw a punch! Well, come on, referee. Rovers still withstanding this pressure. It's with Goulding again. Goulding, it's a dangerous kick. It's gone to Mans. That's a forward. Yes. Ollie Mans just tried knocking the ball back to his own player, but it went forward. And credit to this Rovers defence. They withstood the pressure. They stood firm, and they're still only 2 behind on the scoreboard.
Yeah, fantastic period of defence there, wasn't it? 12 tackles, bomb ball. They just don't give up, Rovers. They're really showing the mettle tonight. They're showing mettle might take them all the way to the final in this playoffs. Anyway, it's Fletch checking it up, looking to make a drive, getting 5-10 yards. Well held by 2 Leigh players. They really look to clamp down on in this half. Rich Wilson making another drive in. They're looking to draw the ball into the middle, then spread it out to the wings. Chris Charles with a good ball out. But Nick Penny unlucky, but...
Yeah, this is going to be an interesting decision. Is give the scrum to Leigh. Is a judging that the Leigh player did not try and play the ball. And I think that was a fair decision in my opinion. I don't think there was a lot the Leigh player could have done about the kick. It just rebounded off his chest and went straight out of play. Well, Simon's disagreeing with me, but I'll give that one to Leigh.
I don't know, he had to drink at half-time, Rob. But I'll have a pint of it after the match. He played the ball, definitely went to slam it down, but I'll let you off with that one anyway. Leigh looking to make a break.
Yeah, this John Duffy, the standoff, starting to have a bit of influence on this game now. Is that what you can tell us about John Duffy, Simon? I think he once played for Warrington in Super League.
Yeah, he's also played for Chorley, yet another player. It seems to be a big link-up between Leigh and Chorley. I know a lot of their players this year are gone. From last year are gone there, Tim Street and a couple of others.
Leigh are in the danger zone now. That's a long ball out to the winger, Eric Andrews, and for a moment he was one-on-one, but he was nailed by the Robins defence. It's the fifth and last. Rowley slips the ball out to Mark McCulley, who does a delicate chip over, and that's great play from Bobby Everett. Not only did he read the play and take the ball comfortably, he managed just to make them important through yards away from his own try line. Oh, that's a big hit. That was a big hit. And once again, well, surprise, surprise, it was Goulding. Martin Wood now takes the ball in. He's met by Bradbury of Leigh. Rovers struggling to get out their own half in the early stage, in the first 12 minutes of this half. And there's going to be a spell on the bench for Richie Hayes as Adam Sullivan rejoins the fray. And if Adam's running as big and hard and strong as he was in the first half, then hopefully we can start making inroads into this Leigh defence. Wood was under pressure. It's been gathered by Ollie Marnes, 10 metres inside his own half. And that's brilliant. Blanchard and Pinkney. Ollie Marnes will think twice before charging in on them two again, because they absolutely mullered him. And that's great defence again. Chris Charles, Paul Fletcher. It's going to be Rowley acting half-back. He's pulling the strings. Duffy switches to his inside. Well, they've not got all the Rowley yet. They have now. But Leigh once again are approaching the danger zone of the Robins. It's with Duffy. Duffy had Baldwin to his left. He's jinxed and dummied. Well, he kicked the kick through. Ali McLaren, safety first this time. Dropped on the ball. The East End's not happy. And Leigh are a mile offside there, referee. Get your eyes open. They're an absolute mile off. Look at them. Look at them.
Yeah, I think the referees might have gone to sleep for a bit, Rob. And where Rovers found it hard to make yards now. Chris Charles taking it in. Leigh have really upped the defence, really been fiery. Kane putting a good kick in, going for the 40-20, but it's straightened up. But it's still a good kick. But where Rovers chases, they're not there. The poor chase, but eventually well picked up. Tackle him only 12 yards from the line.
Yeah, we've already seen what that guy Felton can do with his break just after half-time. We need to be, if we're going to put the kicks in, we need to be up and at them. That was strong play by Cardoza to Duffy. Martin Woods in with a tackle, ably abetted by Chris Child. Leigh are about 34 metres from their own try line, and in the last 5 minutes, Leigh have certainly been in the ascendancy. And once again, it's Simon Baldwin breaking a tackle. He passes to Rowley. Rowley's smothered there by Adam Sullivan. But Adam Bristow's set the attack going again. Oh, and that's poor defence from Rovers. The Leigh player absolutely ran through two Rovers attack defenders there, and that's good defence from Fettel coming in from the centre position. Felton to Morley. The ball's gone backward. It's gone to ground, and Leigh have lost ground there through Mark McCulley. McCulley plays the ball. Leigh is certainly looking there, hungry on attack. It's a dangerous kick from Goulding. It's sailed out on the full to the relief of the Robins. Coach Gary Wilkinson, we can see him, is frantically sending messages down to the bench because he knows Rovers are slightly up against it at the moment. But we're only 2 points behind on the scoreboard. We need to weather this storm, stick in like we did in the first half, and then give Leigh some.
Looks like Turkey Tezes has told Leigh just to enjoy themselves, go out, chuck the ball about and try to get some points on the board, but to be honest, Rovers' defence is still good for it.
Well, he was right first time, Simon. It's Turkey. Right then, you Robins, let's go. We're in the Leigh half of the field. It's with Wood. Wood sells the dummy. Wood still going. Scragged down. by Ian Hodgson, the 17 for Leigh. That's Rich Wilson. It's the 5th and last. Here's Dicko. Dicko's gone left with Charles. Charles puts the kick in. Looks as though it could be too strong. It's held up behind the goal line, and that's good play from the Robins. Fetu Taiwo and Alistair McLaren doubled up on the full-back there, Felton, and Rovers, they can have a chance now to sustain some pressure on this Leigh line.
There's that potential on the outside all the time in there. Alistair McLaren, we know Leigh are shit scared of him, don't we? And he's done damage to him before, and they're having to mark him with free plays constantly.
Yeah, certainly this crowd tonight, there's something about night matches that seems to bring the best out of the Rovers fans. They're certainly enjoying themselves over in the East Stand. They're giving Goulding a bit of stick, they're giving the referee a bit of stick, but most importantly, they're getting behind the Robins players. Chance now for Rovers to have a good set, put some more pressure on this Leigh line. It's with Richard Wilson. Oh, that's a good slip for the ball. Fortunately, Dicko got wrapped up by Rowley. Oh, and he's knocked on, but there looked to me to be interference there. I mean, there was raving him about all over the place.
I mean, done this referee watch with the Sky TV? Hadn't he heard about the rules about at the play the ball? You know, getaways don't interfere. If you do, you get 10 minutes. It's just, it's not a different game. And it was obvious, but there you go.
Yeah, I could certainly see Andy Smith having a word with the referee before that scrum went down. Not happy with the decision. That's Dale Cardoza. He's met by Freeman Rovers defence, and he didn't like the tackle, didn't this Cardoza? Look at him. Tart. Rovers need to get up and at him in defence again. Good shouldering by Chris Charles. Whatever happens for the remainder of this game, it's been a tremendous performance by Rovers. That's Rowley again. Smothered man and ball. Oh, look what you were appealing for. It was a fair tackle. He took a big hit, and straight away 2 Leigh players was appealing to the touch judge. They certainly are a reflection of the coach. They're just whinge bags. Penalty to Rovers. Offside, belatedly.
I think you're right with what you said, Rob. Talking back to the referee, one thing you never do as a player, you learn that when you're 8 years old. Never mind when you're bloody 28. And if it's just criminal error, isn't it, by Leigh? And Rovers are going to punish it. These Rovers, we've to weather the storm, and now we're coming on.
Yeah, substitution for Rovers. It's Matt Keynes left. Is it young Johnny Wilkin who's come on, Sam? Looks as though it is 14. Yeah, Johnny Wilkins on for Rovers. Here's Adam Sullivan. That's a good drive. We're 20 metres out from the Leigh Centurions line. Here's Charles. We need someone on his shoulder. That man is Fletcher, and that man Fletcher is still going. He's got the ball away. There's a chance for Charlie. There's a try for Charlie. Chris Charles. Come on. Brilliant strength from Paul Fletcher. Slipped the ball out. Chris Charles still had a lot to do, but equally good strength shown by Chris Charles, and he's gone in underneath the sticks, and we're back in front.
What a fantastic try, wasn't it? You could see Psycho coming from about 20 yards off. He was steamed up. He won it far up Leigh players, but it don't matter. He knocks him off. It was his upper body strength, and he still slips that ball out. Chris Charles, he still had 2 players to beat. Did a dummy, saw a dummy, used his strength and went in under the post.
Yeah, about 61 minutes on the clock, and the Robins have hit the front once again. It's the Hull Kingston Rovers 14, Leigh Centurions 12, and this is good. This final 20 minutes is going to be an absolute dream to watch. Charlie now just needs to steady himself. The adrenaline will be pumping after going over, even though he's being dragged back by 3 Leigh players. Charlie adds on the extra 2. Rovers 16, Leigh Centurions 12.
tell you what, Leigh must be dispirited. They've chucked everything at Rovers, haven't they? They've thrown the ball about, they've brought the big guns, and they've still got nowhere. Rovers still come back with the points. And it's great to hear the Rovers crowd singing again. It's been sadly missed this year, and it's just a good atmosphere, good match. And if this is the playoffs, we'll bring it on.
Well, the mouth of the South's left the field. Goulding's off, Severbeck's on. He gives Leigh a slightly different option to Severbeck, quite a dangerous player. Swaverbeck, which how do you pronounce it?
Svabik.
Well, Sever, yeah, same thing. Number 14.
Yeah, Svabik actually came from Salford to say, oh great, another great run. This time from, I think it's Rich Wilson, and he's really fired up. He knows what it's about. He's played this team before.
Yeah, the Rovers forwards are certainly fighting fire with fire. They're offside a mile. Come on, referee. Wood's going for the 40-20. It's gone a bit central though. But we need to nail this fullback. He's dangerous. Nail him. Good tackle. Good tackle. Matt Blanchard. Ollie Mans, where you going? Nowhere, boy. Get down. Come on, referee. He's tackled. Knock on. There's a Rovers player down, unfortunately, as Simon Baldwin drives the ball forward. It's about 8 metres inside the Leigh Centurions half. Rowley. I tell you what, Paul Fletcher's playing like an 18-year-old. He absolutely steamed in there on Paul Anderson. But Leigh are looking to me as though they're running out of 1 or 2 ideas. This is Swarbeck. Kick comes in. Pinkney collects. Pinkney's got a chance. Pinkney's ruined. He cuts inside. He's turned the full-back round. Oh, tremendous break from Nick Pinkney. It was followed all the way by Felton, but Rovers have got chances now. Bobby Everett joins the line. We've got Leigh back where we want them. They're on their own line. We're throwing everything at them now. The ball's with Andy Smith. He slips the ball to Rich Wilson. The play stagnates a bit, but Nick Pinkney there showed all his experience. 60-metre run. This is Big Adam Sullivan, about 11 metres from the Leigh line. This is where we want to see Wood and Kane. Sorry, Kane's left it. Oh, it's in the post! Gallagher's a rock on! Oh! Well, it was a drop goal attempt from Kane. It hit the post. It bounced down to the Leigh player who knocked on. And as the Rovers attackers converged, he swung a leg at it and kicked it dead. What a game.
I thought it was going to be a bit of justice there, Rob, for the 2 fluky tries they've got so far this match. I thought we were going to get a bit of luck, but no, we've got to do it the hard way.
What play from the Robins, turning defence into attack in an instant. High kick, Nick Pinkney, 60-70 metre charge downfield, and Rovers almost coming up with a try, and the pendulum has swung, and it's the Robins in the ascendancy now. But the important thing to do is make this ascendancy, make the pressure tell. If we can get 10 points in front of Leigh, they're not coming back, Simon.
No, we've got to take to get that other try, haven't we? Really fired. Oh no! And there's the man who's doing it, Paul Fletcher. And it's out to Dixon, and he's making a run, but no, it was just out.
But this onslaught from the Rovers is incessant now. 11 metres out. It's Kane to Charles. Charles, oh, great pick-up. Absolutely tremendous pick-up there. I think it was Dean Andrews who's coming on the wing. Did absolutely brilliant there, Dean Andrews. Johnny Wilkin. Jinkin is still going, he's pumping them legs. It's the 5th and last. Leigh are on their own line. Dixon to Kane. Kane to Bobby Everett. Bobby Everett kicks for the corner. Still play on. Andy Smith. But to Fetu Taiwa. The ball slung in field. Danger. Good play from Fletcher. Blanchard. Oh, the play's still going. Oh! And unfortunately, Chris Charles tried to get the ball to wingman Pinkney, but the ball slid from his fingers. Oh, quick, get in front of the kicker.
Rovers was penalised for offside, and now there's going to be a sin bin. But that is a joke, ref. How can you sin bin our player when we was deliberately pulled back in the first half from a try?
Yeah, well, I don't know, Ron. I thought it was a fair 10 minutes myself. But it's only what's been going on all match, and all of a sudden he decides he's going to penalise it for it.
Yeah, don't get me wrong, that decision was correct, but based on what happened in the first half, when their player should have been sin-binned, well, it just shows how inconsistent referees are. Anyhow, play's going on. We've played about 68 minutes. The game is absolutely flying past, it's that good. But the next try is going to be the crucial one as far as this game goes. Rovers with that 4-point lead, 16 points to 12. Duffy to Adam Bristow, the ball's gone loose, knock on. Oh, tremendous defence. Leigh do not like it. They don't like it. And on the evidence of this, Huddersfield will wipe the floor with Leigh if they meet them in the playoffs.
I tell you what, I mean, this is team spirit for you, innit? You can see it from Rovers from 1 to 17. They're really showing it all the way through. You know, you can spend all this money on a team. You can waste your money on people like Vila Matausha. And what's the point, eh? You're wasting all your Heisen money, your Leisen money.
Just a bit of friendly banter there with a Leigh cameraman, but there you go. Rovers feed the scrum. Ball comes out to Dean Andrews, who's coming looking for work. Adam Bristow was in with a tackle, could have been a judged eye, but good strength shown by young Dean Andrews there. And Leigh once again, look, it's a skinny 10 they're using. John Wilkin, the ball's 10 metres inside the Rovers half. Adam Sullivan takes the ball to the halfway line. Referee Morrison, they're all offside. Morrison is once again, he's ignored it. There's a chance now. Oh, there was half a break there, but the door was shut by Ollie Mans, the Leigh left winger, on Chris Charles. Matt Kane, still going. Johnny Wilkin, well, I'm not quite sure what he did there. Leon Felton's gathered the ball. It's actually Martin Woods left the field, Simon. I didn't notice. It must have been who Wilkin come on for.
Well, I mean, Wilkin adds a bit of air dimension as well, so I don't know, maybe Martin Wood must have picked up a knock or something. I can't see him down. Oh, he is down there on the bell, shut down. He ain't got the ice packer out.
Yeah, and I think he's carrying a bit of an hand injury, and that's it's maybe just took a knock on it. Hopefully we'll be able to get him on with the last 5 minutes, because someone with his experience can just see us home in this game. Loose ball, Baldwin has to drop on it, has to take a big hit from Andy Smith, didn't like it, lost his cap. That was a forward pass, ref, come on. Anderson received that and he was a yard in front of the passer. It's the fifth and last. Leigh is still inside their own half of the field. That's a clever kick. Charles has got to make it, and he does. Takes the tackle, Chris Charles, but he won't be bothered. Got about 9 minutes of the game remaining. It's going to be tight, it's going to be tense. It's been a tremendous game of rugby league. Bobby's took a knock, Bobby Everett.
I tell you what, I think Chris Charles had one hell of a game today, and he's really took him on. He's shown a lot of skill, made a few half breaks, and he's been unlucky a lot of times. He got a great try in this half, and it's good to see him at his best. I think that John Wilkin as well, he's really showing some skill in it. I know Rovers are trying to tie him into a 4-year deal, and I really do hope it comes out, because he's a talent of the future, isn't he? I mean, St Helens want him, they're interested in him, Hull FC were interested in him. There's a reason teams like that want a player.
Big Simon Baldwin's left the field for Leigh, which is good to see. He's been one of their better players tonight as Baldwin. There's still a stoppage in players. Bobby Everett's down injured.
Number 17, Ian Hodgson, replacing number 11, Simon Baldwin.
Hodgson's on for Leigh. Big number 17, he's a big guy. The stoppage in play not doing any favours to either team, really. It'll just break up the pattern. It's a crucial stage of the game with only 4 points on between the sides. Hopefully it looks as though Bobby's going to have to go off. It looks as though it's a serious knock. It looks as though it's Martin Wood who's coming back onto the field. In fact, it's Ali McLaren who looks as though he's going to be coming on. Well, there's a bit of confusion. Bobby's certainly coming off, but who's going to replace him? Yeah, it's Ali McLaren. Findle, who's going to go to the full-back position here, Simon?
Looks like Nick Pinckney's volunteering to go to the full-back. Andrews coming up to right wing, and McLaren going to his favourite spot. I know Nick Pinckney's got a lot of pace, he's a good tackler, so let's hope he does a good job. Anyway, here's Paul Fletcher coming up again, looking to make the ball available, but there's nobody there. It takes 3 players to pull him down.
With 9 minutes to go, my mind was just going to man of the match, and for me it's Paul Fletcher.
Well, for his influence on the game, it's got to be him, hasn't it? I mean, he's just made such a difference. The whole team's risen, hasn't it? And I know Gary Wilkinson, it says it himself. He says that if he could...
Well, there was a bit of confusion there. Rovers looked to kick on the sixth, got tired to solve in a knot a bit. The referee had already called held. Luckily, there'd been a charge down, and it's a good job he'd called held because Leigh was away. That's Hodson, and Hodson was absolutely mullered there. He may be a big guy, but take that boy. One of two things to say, did Hodson. Leigh looking to pin Rovers back, but Rovers defence actually forcing Leigh into losing ground. But that's Big Anderson, and that's great defence again. Dean Andrews and Chris Charles. Forward shouts the crowd, referees and touch judge not having any of it. It's the 5th and last. Rowley's at Acton half. Crossing. There looks to be crossing there. Rovers need to get hold of this ball, wrap them up. Oh, that's great work. They're driving them back still, but the ball's still in play. We need to nail them. It's the 5th and last. Oh, and there's a chance now. And if the score here, they had a luckiest team alive. But there's a chance now. Blanchard, great play. Oh, that's an high tackle. Adam Bristow. Dean Andrews has slung a punch in. There's John Anderson's throwing punches. There was no need for the high tackle. Blanchard's gone down. The Rovers players are unhappy, understandably so.
I'll tell you what, this Leigh team needs to be looked at, don't they? From the fans, the supporters, the ground, the coach, the players, the whole lot. There's no need for a player like that. Just stick it in, you see it time after time. We've got the likes of Baldwin constantly giving it the lot.
Yeah, I think there's about 7 referees on that pitch. 1 in yellow and black and 6 in white. At the end of the day, it's going to be a penalty to the Robins. To be fair to Bristow, he actually was in the process of putting his hands up, but Dean Andrews ran in and gave him a right-hander.
Yeah, but he didn't deserve it, did he?
At the end of the day, hopefully Blanchard will be okay, because after just losing Bobby, we can't really afford to lose another player. Looks on the bench at the moment. There's Kane, Hayes, Schultz. How was that? Well, I thought for a minute he was going to give the penalty to Leigh, but he's just signalling. I think he's going to go on report. The 2 skippers are there.
Unbelievable, isn't it? I don't even know if he's put him on report. Unbelievably enough, he's calling up Andrews to the right hook.
Tonight's attendance at Craven Park is 1,770.
One of Rovers' best attendances for a fair while here at Craven Park. 1,700. He's put Dean Andrews on report. No mention of the hard tackle.
Yeah, I think both incidents will have gone on report there, Sam. I think the high tackle and also the right hand thrown by Dean Andrews. But as it is, play's restarted. I think there's about 6 or 7 minutes remaining, and this game's there for the taking. And big Paul Fletcher, that's great play. Offloads to Adam Sullivan, who takes the ball about 15 metres from the leigh line, and Rovers with a real chance now. Chris Charles onto Wilkin. Oh, there was a high tackle there on Fetto, but Fetto's a big tough guy. Well, he's getting up gingerly, so he must have felt that one, Fetto. It's with Wood now. Wood looked for support. Kane was a bit too far away with him. Kane will go to Charles. In fact, he runs off himself, does Kane. Ducks, using his strength, drives the ball towards the post. Is it worth a drop goal? We'll get the ball back. And that's a penalty to Rovers. Stupid play from Leigh, but thank you very much. We'll have that.
Well, they're just idiots, aren't they? They can't take the hassle. Whenever it's always the same with this team. You know, whenever it gets tight, it was tight at Leigh, they started sticking it in. I mean, that's probably why they took Simon Baldwin off, so he didn't get sent off.
As it is, it's going to be an easy 2 for Rovers, and it's going to be a 6-point lead, which means even if Leigh get a try and goal, they can't win the game. So I think Rovers are looking good for at least a point here, but let's hope I'm not speaking too soon, because a team like Leigh are capable of scoring tries in quick succession. But it should be an easy 2 for Chris Charles here, and it was absolutely stupid play from Leigh. Absolutely stupid. Their coach, Paul Turkey, will be absolutely livid sat on that bench.
Well, it must be. I mean, if I was a Leigh fan, I'd be a bit disappointed really with this team. I mean, they spent a lot of money on the team, they bought some good players, and you'd have to look at the coach really, wouldn't you, Rob? I mean, they're not playing as well as they did. Remember when they had Millward and the performances used to put up then? They didn't have as good a side, but there you go.
Yeah, they certainly lack a bit in discipline to Leigh. Rovers fans singing just because you're losing, maybe that's the reason. But as it is, it's another 2 points for the Robins and another 2 points for Chris Charles. And Rovers are lead now this game by 18 points to 12. About 4 or 5 minutes remaining. It's going to be an absolute belting finish.
Successful penalty kick there for Hopkins Rovers, number 13.
I think Rovers need to watch out for the short 10 here. They're looking to kick it, looking for an R10, and it's got 10. It's well picked up there in the end. And a fist blatantly went in. What was the lance?
Yeah, it was Dale Cardoza. He looks to be a bit of a knothead. Yeah, they're trying to do the spear tackle now. I've just noticed that up on the gantry here, Simon, we've got Steve Cross, who must be the referee's eye in the stand today. But I'd be interested to ask him about the pullback in the first half. I might ask for his opinion after the game. Rovers now, chance to finish this game off. Here's the man of the match for me, Paul Fletcher. Play on, referee. Yeah. It's going to be Johnny Wilkin at the acting half-back. 20 metres from the Rovers line. Oh, and that's ill-discipline from Rovers now. Stupid. No need for it. They had a chance there to drive towards the sticks. Pop a drop goal off her, and it would have been good night Vienna. But as it is now, Leigh have got the chance to bring the ball downfield and get a try. That's Hodgson, big number 17. And the Hooter's gone. Well, the Rovers fans are going absolutely mental. It's been a hard-fought win, but a tremendous win for the Robins. And Leigh, you may be in second place. You may fancy yourselves in the playoffs. You won't want to come here again.
Leigh took one hell of a beating tonight. Fantastic play from Rovers. They've written us off, said they weren't good enough. They really showed tonight they can put performance together against some of their best players. Okay, they might not have had a full side out. We didn't have a full side out. Fantastic play.
Yeah, Hull Kingston Rovers from 1 to 17. Absolutely tremendous. Absolutely tremendous. And you can see just what it means to them Rovers players. They're all hugging, they're all hand clapping. Nice to see that there's handshakes between both sides now. It got a bit heated at times, but at the end of the day, it's a victory to the Robins. 18 points to 12 to go over to the East Stand. and Heroes 1-17, Simon.
I mean, it's one of the best home performances I've seen all season. Fantastic stuff. Really took them on. I mean, Paul Fletcher, it was a fantastic game. It wasn't just good, it was absolutely superb. It was Super League performance.
Yeah, I listened to David Doyle-Davidson on Radio Humberside on Sunday, and he said we had no chance of a victory tonight. Well, David Doyle-Davidson, there's one for you. Final score here at Craven Park, Hull Kingston Rovers 18, the Leigh Centurions 12. I've been Rob Chadwick.
I've been Simon Austin.
And we'll see you for the Donny game.